Hello and welcome back to my channel. I appreciate you so much for tuning in, and I hope that you're enjoying all of the content that you've seen if you've looked through my page so far. If you haven't yet gone ahead and looked at the introduction to my channel that I made on May 30th, 2022, go ahead and take a look at that now so you can know a little bit more about how I'm taking this channel into a specific direction right now. I am Chavon, also known as my healer name, Wyzdom DVine, and my shamanic name is Heals the Mother. I'm a certified and ordained spiritual advisor, coach, and instructor, and I create programs and classes centered specifically around how to help other healers, intuitives, empaths, mediums, and other types of spiritual entrepreneurs to really tap into their gifts, to make their manifestations soar, to have clarity and confidence in their businesses and in their purpose, what they're supposed to be here for, which is to give their beautiful gifts and share them with themselves first and then with the rest of the world. So last time I made the video as my introduction, I let you know that I was taking this channel more in a direction of sharing these kinds of things with you. I do have several other posts before now. Please go ahead and take a look, especially at the mandala meditations, because they are made for specific purposes. I have one on self-love and one on calling your pieces back to you that is supposed to be helpful for you to download and bring back in the energies that you're meant to be aligned with. So whether that is the energy of self-love or the energy of calling all your pieces back to you, which all of us can benefit from at least those two. They were channeled by me with the help of my guides, and they are infused with Reiki energy and blessed. So go ahead and take a look at any of those if that interests you, so that you can just really get all of that yummy energy and just download that self-love and just feel the shift happening in your life and in your energetic space when you view those mandalas and listen to the actual tones and words that were channeled into those videos. So I am a lot of things. I'm a shamanic practitioner. I'm a Reiki master. I'm an incarnate angel, wise one hybrid, which is called a mystic angel, I believe. It's been so long since those days, or learning about that. I have like a little bit of starseed energy, but mostly those are my two main energies for that. I'm ordained, as I had stated, so I am ordained to practice and sacred ceremonies, to perform sacred ceremonies of all kinds. So whether that would have been a wedding, a funeral, a baptism, a house blessing, a business blessing. So I do a lot of blessings in my one-on-one sessions, depending on what is called for. I am also curandera by bloodline, and getting trained by my guides more and more in that arena as well. I'm also trained in NLP and life coaching. So, I mean, this list is like, it's just getting longer and longer. So I do a lot of things. And I want to help you to do the things that you feel called to do as well. I want you to feel in tuned and empowered with your abilities. I want you to know what voice is your true inner voice and what voices are the inner critics that you have developed over time because of trauma, because of heavy experiences, because of abuse or self-neglect. Any of those things, they cause us to break away into many different ways that are not beneficial and counterintuitive to our beautiful message, which is that message of unconditional love to ourselves first, filling our own cup up and getting really strong in that, and then to share that unconditional love with the rest of the world. So these types of videos that I'm going to be making are really kind of getting you more and more in alignment with your true self and with your true message, which is going to be your version of unconditional love, whether that be as an oracle, as a seer, as a card reader, as a Reiki master, as a shaman yourself, whatever it is that you feel called to. I want to help with that. So I'm creating classes and programs centered around that, and certifications. certification class that you can take with me. I have coaching programs that you can take with me, and also the one-on-one sessions. So currently I am offering the Healers Transformation, which is a wonderful program, 8-week program that I have just created. I'm super excited about it. Creating the workbook right now as we speak, so that's almost done. And the workbook is just going to help you to really integrate fully all of the techniques and aspects that we're going over in the course of our 8 weeks, so that in between having your one-on-one sessions with me, you'll have something that you're doing, exercises that you're feeling in, that you're really able to use to embed these messages into your cells and into your neural pathways. So my techniques are spiritual, intuitive, metaphysical, and neural. I believe that we need all of those things in order to really reach our fullest potential as an intuitive or empath or healer of any kind. So a little bit about me is I have had these abilities. They were not, I can't say like something that I was in tune with or that I was like really truly practicing to their fullest ability, but since I was a child, because at that time they were really kind of just taking over my life. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night sometimes. I would have very, very vivid, disturbing dreams. I was getting visions out of nowhere of like things that were going to happen and hurt like other children or people nearby. I was empathically feeling the energies of others, and if you're an empath, you know what that feels like. So I'm constantly like was on edge, trying to manage the room, manage the people around me, please everybody, because I can feel all of their feelings. And on top of that, I'm called the Shadow Shaman because one of my deepest gifts is shadows. So I was constantly picking up shadows from other people and telling them about them when they did not want me to. So it didn't make me very popular at times. On top of this, I would receive downloads from my guides whenever they wanted to give me downloads. It was very intrusive, and I didn't know there was any other way I could live. I had no idea that there were ways that you could set up energetic boundaries so that you could sleep at night, so that you could tell spirits, excuse me, I don't wish to be bothered any other time except for these times that I'm setting up to work specifically with spirits. I didn't realize that these energetic boundaries on my own energetic space also spilled over into other areas of my life where I had social anxiety and on this like deep people pleasing codependency. And working on all of these things and learning. So around 8 years ago, I started working with a psychic teacher who taught me so much. I mean, literally just one message alone of knowing that I could tell my guides and use my free will to set up certain boundaries just so I wasn't having panic attacks when downloads were coming on out of nowhere. That alone was worth like gold. Then around 3 or so years ago, I started my shamanic training, which helped to put everything else in one specific place where I could go into shamanic journey, into my sacred garden, where I can meet with guides and talk with them and receive the information from them, specifically where we deemed that was the right place to do it, not just all the time when they were trying to do it before. So before that, I mean, as many healers and intuitives and empaths know, we were given this mission in this life to like vibrate high, but in order to do that, we had to like come and first experience a bunch of heaviness. It sounds like a paradox, but many of us know this is the case. So when we first get here as little bitty children, we experience lots of trauma, lots of abuse, maybe neglect, maybe just upsetting experiences, just things that were just upsetting. And they don't have to be the same for everybody. Like literally you could be an infant on coming up on your first birthday and have a balloon pop somewhere near you. And it scared you so much that you have not only a soul fragment runs away, which we'll talk about soul retrieval and soul fragments in another video when we're talking about that in shamanism, but you also create a rule or you create fear-based reactions off of that. And now you go forward the rest of your life not realizing that you're acting out of fear because you're still stuck in that. These are that's just one example. There's obviously things like much more traumatizing than a balloon popping, but it's really not about much more or much less. For that child, that balloon popping could have felt like life or death. And it has created deep issues in them that go down to the cellular level, that have created neural pathways that we've just embedded further and further over the years, that go along with that same fear that we had that day. And now we make fear-based decisions. So that's just kind of an example of what I'm talking about here. And so we want to work together so that we can overcome that. So you can build a relationship with your intuition, so that you can build trust with your inner selves. So you can tell all the inner critics and all of the naysayers in your mind and outside of your mind to back off and let me have this because I've got this. So for me, I had a lot of these very troubling experiences as a child, a lot. And the more I started to tell them out loud to people, the more disturbing I realized they were, because at the time I didn't really know that I was being, exposed to so many disturbing things. And this is like not just at home, but at school, everywhere. I mean, I was in and out of the hospital as a child as well, and experienced a lot of abuse in the hospital. So I started reading my first self-help book at 18 years old, and I started seeing my first therapist around the same time. And I became a really great student. Like, I understood a lot of the techniques and the information that I was consuming. I could teach it. I could definitely, like, it became my passion. I was in college for education and then a psychology minor because I wanted to eventually be a counselor of some kind, but in the education field, because I knew I wanted to help some kind of way in a place where it was really, really transformative. And I felt like, what was more transformative than like a junior high student or a high school student? Because I know that's when a lot of things hit me. That's what I thought my path was at the time. And then my path eventually revealed itself to me later on as a healer. But I studied this because it was very interesting to me and because I loved it. I really understood it, but I just didn't know how to integrate it. I didn't know how to make that a practical part of my own life. I just felt like maybe something was broken too much in me. Maybe I had just experienced too much. I like to joke when I, say this a lot. I said, I thought that the law of attraction just wasn't attracted to me. I wasn't sure how to have control over my own life and how to manifest the way that I wanted to manifest. I didn't realize I had so many shadows and things that needed to heal in the background that were affecting how I really wanted to present myself to the world and how I wanted to create the world around me. They also were causing my own energies and the energies of others and spirits to constantly be bullying me and putting me in a more victimized state. So when I found these teachers, I learned for the first time these different techniques that helped me to put everything in their place and get me that confidence that I needed and that clarity that I needed in order to know which one of these voices, which one of these things bothering me all the time was my true self and which one was actually belonged to the outside world. So that was monumental for me. I needed that change so much. I had already had a lot of transformations in my life. Like I said, I grew up in the hospital, like in and out of the hospital for several years as a child, mystery illness. Some of you maybe be able to relate to this as well, because I feel like a lot of like healers like have like fibromyalgia and maybe autoimmune, different types of issues. And so I was fortunate enough that my mother brought me to three magnificent women. One was an herbalist who taught me how to make oils and massage myself and do my own deep tissue massage in these like knots and stuff that I was forming in my body, and using herbs in those oils to penetrate into there and to like really give my body the chance that it needed to heal through herbs. And then I also went to a woman who went into trance for me. She read my past lives. She told me why some of these messages were coming back up in my life again now, and what did I need to learn this life from previous lives that were affecting my body and creating these illnesses in my body now. And then the third woman I went to was an intuitive nutrition, and she was amazing. She actually literally spoke to my body, and my body told her what foods to eat and what foods to get rid of in order to heal myself from that state. And I went from being in a wheelchair. Well, at the time I was in a body cast. So I had been in a wheelchair, mangled up body, shriveled up in this, like stuck in one place that I couldn't even straighten my body if I wanted to. And then I got put in the body cast and had to be lifted up and down, you know, out of bed, off the couch, had to have somebody lift me over the toilet seat, you know, TMI. But, you know, it was really, really a vulnerable state to be in. And within 1 week, after implementing the things from these 3 women, I was able to walk on my own. So these transformations are really, really important and powerful to me. But that was one type of transformation. That was on my body and my physical. I didn't know as an adult now that I had lived life and I had been heartbroken and, you know, experienced, like, you know, the pain of being in the world for so long, especially as a very highly sensitive individual, which a lot of us healers are. I didn't know how to come out of some of the mental patterns that I was in, and heal some of these emotional wounds that I had experienced. And then they were causing other problems in my body that I couldn't just heal through nutrition and herbs. So I got back into healing, and that's really what caused it. Was I was an adult now, and just my life just felt a mess. I was having mental breakdown after mental breakdown. I kept having to drop out of my semesters because I would have another breakdown. I was seeing my therapist and coming to her in my pajamas, and I don't even remember showing up in my pajamas. I was, you know, just experiencing more body issues. Now I had cholesterol issues and sugar issues and all kinds of things. And I had already, you know, considered myself, I mean, I had got a lot of compliments from my doctor because I was pretty healthy, considering the fact that even though I was able to walk and I was able to do a lot of things, I was taking belly dance. I've done a lot of things in my life that the doctors were telling me I was never going to be able to do. But I was maintained like a close enough size. I would go up in weight sometimes, but then I was able to bring my weight back down. And my health, for the most part, I had great blood pressure. I had great numbers for the most part because I was doing a really good job of keeping some things in check. But then there were these other things that I just couldn't get a handle on. So I had to do something about that. And then I learned overall how our energetic body is affected overall, holistically, on a mind, body, spirit level. So that's just a little bit more about me, and a little bit more about like what kind of ways that I want to work with you here, and kind of just teaching you, letting you know that you can in fact set empathic boundaries. You can set boundaries and put yourself in a bubble and allow only the filtered information that you want to come through, and only the filtered information that you want to get out will get out. I just wanted to let you know that you have the power to do those things and claim dominion and authority back over your mental capacities, your energetic space, your body, your cells, all of the above. So I hope that was a good takeaway for today. Practice at the very least. If nothing else, if you take nothing else from me today, is telling your guides when you're receiving downloads or information, when you're getting that rapid heart rate, when you're in the middle of a meditation, or if you suddenly your heart rate starts speeding up in the middle of the night, or if you just feel like this intrusive energy is bombarding you while you're like at brunch with friends, try taking a moment and in your mind, using your free will and authority, telling your guides, hey, I recognize that you might be trying to send information through my cells, giving me an upgrade, giving me a download, or giving me a vision of the sort right now. Can you do it in a way that my body can actually handle? Practice that for a little while, and then let me know in the comments if you tried it and if that worked for you, because it really can. And it will alleviate that like rapid heartbeat anxiety feeling that you get when you're actually receiving a download or information from your actual guides. Okay, and so if you found any sort of benefit in this video today, or if you'd like to see more or go further into one of the topics I brought up today, let me know that in the comments as well. Please like and share this video as well to get the word out, and ring the bell so that you'll be notified of more videos that I make in the future, when we're going to go further into setting up those empathic boundaries, really tapping into our intuition and our third eye, and building a relationship with our inner selves so that we can build up that trust. All right, thank you so much for tuning in today. Everybody have a wonderful day. Blessings, namaste, wisdom, much love.